Everyone who follows Liver King knows exactly how hard he works. It's very inspirational. You never know what he's working on at the moment. Liver King Chef Lionel here. The plan for dinner is that Liver King wants a snake. So it's our job to find that snake, and not just any snake. It can't be a small snake. It has to be a big Liver King size snake that we're working on sourcing right now. I'm gonna call my reptile guy, see what he has. Looking for a Liver King really wants a big snake.
Panda meat. How can I help you?
Ryan, this is your favorite chef, Liver King Chef Lionel. How are you?
Chef Lionel, doing good. What can I get for you today?
So I'm looking for a big snake. I want to see if you have any snakes, if they're whole, and what's the biggest you got. Every dinner has to be up to Liver King standards in terms of getting that shock value, and it does get very challenging sourcing those animals sometimes. This particular time, Liver King requested a snake, and not just any snake, a big snake. When Liver King requests something, he wants it big, he wants a Liver King over the top. Not always easy finding them.
Big steaks.
Snake, not steak.
Now, you say snake?
Snake, yeah, snake, like the slithering, white serpent, devil takes over.
Yes. Okay. Well, we have a couple of rattlesnakes in stock, but they're pretty small.
Oh man. All right. Well, do you have anything else? I mean, yeah, obviously I'm cooking for Liver King, so like, do you have anything I can work with? Because I'm kind of in a crunch, and yeah. He said he had porcupines, piranhas. Porcupines are cool and everything else, and then he went to piranhas. Piranhas are cool on paper, but they're actually very small unless they're fruit piranhas, which I highly doubt they were.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we do have? I don't know if you're into reptiles or not, but we have a 10-pound iguana.
Yeah. Heck yeah. No, definitely. I think that's, I like that idea a lot. Can you go ahead and drop the invoice, send it over?
Yeah, 100%. We'll get it in the mail today.
Awesome. Really appreciate it. Thanks for everything.
Of course, anytime. Have a good one, Chef Lionel.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Now the only issue is, which comes up pretty often, how the hell do I cook an iguana? The plan was to cook snake, but my snake guy didn't have any big snakes that were acceptable for Liver King, so we reverted to a big iguana. And to cook for Liver King and his family is a huge operation. I can't do it myself. I always have Chef Idris, which is my sous chef. He's here every day that I'm not here, doing the prep, making sure that they're very well stocked. And then whenever we need extra help, I bring in Chef David. Chef David helps me out with a lot of other private dinners, but whenever we need his help, he's happy to come over and make these dinners happen. So we're prepping sweet potatoes. We're making half of them the cubed way like we usually do, and the other half we're making the mashed potatoes. We're gonna make a primo carne guisada with the Liver King Ranch meat right there. And now we have to cook slow and low because it's really fresh, tastes like blood and everything else, so I wanna get that blood flavor out. And then aside from that, with this iguana, never had an iguana before, so I have no clue what to do with it. Neither of the chefs have worked with iguana, but Chef David did have an idea of how it tasted, and he compared it to chicken. Chicken and then alligator kind of reminds me of New Orleans. How about we do a gumbo, like a primal gumbo with the, yes. We took this whole dinner direction in a more Creole, Louisiana style dinner. We want to make it a gumbo, but we also want to preserve the shape of the iguana as much as possible. So we don't want to break apart the limbs or anything else. So we'll start brainstorming on how to make that look like an iguana while having some of the meat cut off for the gumbo. Okay. If you have any ideas, we'll definitely brainstorm on that. And then aside from that, we're going to make some sweetbreads. With organs, I have a lot of experience cooking organs, growing up from a Hispanic family, not necessarily the most money, so we utilize organs a lot in our cooking. One particular organ that I was never a fan of, but our whole family love, is our sweetbreads. And in the Mexican culture, we call them mollejas, boil them, barbecue them, put them in tacos. Everyone loves them. I have not found a way to cook them that Liver King likes. Luckily this time I had one of my chefs helping me, Chef David. One of his specialties in cuisine is going to be Asian food. And so that's one particular type of cuisine that I don't have too much experience in. So it was a perfect opportunity to try an Asian flavor or an Asian accent on the sweetbreads. He hasn't liked the other ways that I've cooked them, so what do we have to lose?
I think this is okay. I think this is that.
Yeah. This right here is gonna be the meat cut from the iguana. Got this from the tail and from the legs also. We're gonna put that into the gumbo. I was able to fillet the iguana in a way where I'm able to keep the bones intact and the skin intact as well, so it has some of the form of the iguana. If I were solely cooking for a good flavor, this would be so much easier. But it's not just that. We always have to take into consideration that it looks really great and it's gonna be very captivating. I have to make sure that it looks like an iguana, even though we have the meat out. I have to make sure that it tastes good at the same time.
First steps.
Okay, for the roux? Or for the gumbo?
Gumbo, yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Taste the oregano. Having Chef David and Chef Idris there was very helpful. I was able to focus on the iguana, focus on food styling. I could tell them, I need a gumbo and I need sweetbreads Asian style, and then they run away with it. They know what they're doing. I trust that they know what they're doing, and then whenever they're finished, they'll bring it over for me to taste and give them approval. So for our dinner, we're gonna have some goat stomach. We're gonna make this a cross between a Hispanic and also an Italian version. So it's gonna be very soft flavors. We're gonna add some tomatoes in there to kind of hide that goat flavorness towards it, or that stomach flavor towards it. Aside from that, we're gonna have an iguana gumbo because iguana tastes very similar to chicken. We're gonna go ahead and make that into a gumbo. We have some sweetbreads right here. We're boiling that. We're gonna boil that for about 2 hours. Every 30 minutes, we're gonna replenish the water because Liver King does not like the flavor or the texture, so it's gonna be a challenge to have him be able to eat that. This, we have some, it's like psych. This right here is gonna be Liver King Ranch beef. What I'm doing is I'm cutting it up, separating some of this thick fat from the meat. That way whenever we cook it, it's not gonna be so chewy. Like even whenever cutting it, you have like this flavor that is often associated with like really fresh cuts of meat, like really fresh cuts from the cow. And that's what we're trying to get rid of by cooking it low and slow. So now that we have the iguana gutted, we have a nice cavity. I'm gonna go ahead and put the dirty rice in there, and the iguana is gonna get some flavor, add more flavor to the dirty rice.
To make Chef, what is that? I thought you got me a snake.
Change of plans, the snake was not nearly as big enough. I went ahead and got a 10-pound iguana instead.
Iguana? I asked for a snake.
No pressure. So we have the sweetbreads going. The other dish that I'm kind of nervous about is going to be the stomach. Stomach's always a hit or miss, especially whenever you get it from a goat. It's gonna be kind of gamey. What I'm trying to do is trying to remove that stomach flavor as much as possible. You would normally do that by cooking it for 8 hours, but unfortunately we were given 3 hours by the time we got this done. So I really hope this is gonna be acceptable for Liver King. I'm bringing out all these new dishes. They look really gnarly. Let's see if he's gonna like the way it tastes. We're getting ready to set the food. We have everything set up, but we just got informed that it's gonna be 5 minutes late, which is a huge issue because the food gets cold in 5 minutes and it's not up to par whenever we actually serve it for Liver King and his family. What we have for dinner tonight is going to be a dragon in honor of the new year. This is gonna be some dirty rice stuffed dragon. We have the hotel and we have the whole face cooked as well. With the meat on the inside, we went ahead and made a gumbo. We also have some braised beef from Liver King Ranch. We also have some braised ribs. We have some sweetbreads cooked in the Asian style. We have some cheese stuffed burgers. We have some regular sweet potatoes, and we have some sweet mashed potatoes. Aside from that, we're also gonna have our bone marrow, we have our liver, and we have our testicles. That's what we're having for dinner tonight. Liver King Chef Lionel, out.
Well, hold on. I asked for a snake, not a dragon. This better taste good. This bitter, I told you this had to taste good. This bitter tastes good.
I always present my food and leave. He's never stopped me before. Like, what the hell is going on? And then he takes a bite.
More! It's delicious.
Thank you. Oh man. He loves it. He loves the iguana.
I've never had one of Lionel's sweetbreads that tasted good. What do you guys think?
It's amazing. Lionel's really good.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Better.
Lionel,
Tastes so good.
really, really good.
Nice.
You done good.
So the dinner was great. The surprise of the night, the sweetbreads. Those were kick-ass.
We just finished serving Liver King and his family. They're eating right now. I was very nervous up until the point where I took that bite and started chewing. You never know if he's gonna like something, especially whenever you're taking a risk and cooking proteins that he normally doesn't like or normally has not tried, like dragon. He did like it. He said he liked it, so I'm really happy about that. It's a big load off my shoulders and just more opportunity to keep on growing and keep on experimenting with more ingredients.